Welcome back to Community BattleCast PrimeTime. We've got a great episode lined up for you guys, so let's jump right in. First up is the change to the official website. Command & Conquer's website has been repurposed to serve as an advertisement for Tiberium Alliance and the Ultimate Collection. The forums have been removed as well. While it's a good thing there are no longer advertisements to join the beta, no one is sure if this means anything good for Command & Conquer's future. While the official forums are gone, new forums are being hosted for the general CNC franchise within the Tiberium Alliance site. While the legacy forums weren't brought over, the new forums do serve the basic functions. Renegade X updated to Open Beta 4 on March 21st, and over the course of the next week they released the mod SDK and 2 patches. The game continues to be downloaded and enjoyed by thousands, and the dev team continues to just do it up. CNCNZ continues to add support for more games, and now the list of supported games includes Dune 2K, Tiberium Dawn, Red Alert, Tiberian Sun, and Yuri's Revenge, with Red Alert 2 soon to be added. On top of the official CNC games that are supported by CNCNZ, they also support Mental Omega, Dawn of the Tiberium Age, CNC Reloaded, and Twisted Insurrection. CNCNZ has finally brought back the Roundtable, which is a community discussion panel that CNCNZ hosts from time to time. The latest edition features questions surrounding the cancelled CNC free-to-play, the future of the franchise, community projects, and more. I guess this really doesn't count as a news story, really. It's more of a shout out to the CNC subreddit, which in the last 8 months or so has become an excellent resource for all things CNC, from trailers to gameplay, art, mods, live screens, discussions, and even 3D printed CNC stuff. Of course, there's a screenshot contest, which continues to be a staple.
And for our final news story, this is, well, it's official CBCPT news. Number one, give a shout out to nodsoldiergirl. She's got the Tumblr page up and running. You can check that out. It'll be in the description with the other social media. But the other news is that I will be retiring from my position here at Community BattleCast PrimeTime. It's just due to real life circumstances, and as you guys have probably noticed, we haven't been pumping out the episodes like we once were, and a big reason for that is my commitments outside of the show. I've got more and more stuff going on in real life, and unfortunately, I just don't have as much time for the show as I once did. Overall, I'm quite happy and proud of the show over the last 3 years or so that we've been making it. We've come quite a ways. I mean, we've learned a lot, we've improved quite a bit, and we've created a show that really didn't exist in the fan space for Command & Conquer, and I think we did a pretty darn good job at it. However, with my retirement, that means that hopefully one of you guys out there will be looking to step forward and take my position. None of the other folks on the team are very experienced video editors, and so we are looking for someone who already has that experience to potentially take over the position. Now, if you are interested in taking over, please send me an email, sybert.replays@gmail.com. It's in the link down below. But send me an email, let me know what software you use, your experience that you have, and previous examples of work. That would be very helpful. Just a general idea, I do all of the editing and the motion graphics, although you wouldn't necessarily have to do the BattleCast 3, 5, whatever it may be. You just have to do the editing and the motion graphics for the show. And up next, we've got an interview that Troopzor did with a couple of the guys from Petroglyph and a guy from Uber Entertainment who used to work on Command & Conquer, so enjoy.
When did you play your first Command?
Since we're obviously Community BattleCast PrimeTime, always questions about Command & Conquer for the most part. Which games did you guys all work on specifically?
I started at Westwood in 1988, worked on almost everything. I was lead programmer on Command & Conquer 3 while Westwood was still working on it.
I worked at Westwood for 10 years. I was the director of online services, all the tournaments, all the chat room stuff, all that functionality.
I was at Westwood the final 2 years, so I came in late. And I also moved over to EA Los Angeles, where I worked on Generals and Zero Hour.
Awesome. Favorite game?
I'll have to say my favorite game of all the CNC titles, Red Alert by far. I love the crazy world, the weird science. I love Tanya. I love Tesla coils.
I liked Red Alert quite a bit, but I kind of liked Red Alert 2 a little bit more. I thought there was a lot of fun things in that one as well.
I'm with Ted. It was Red Alert 2. Especially with the Yuri's Revenge expansion.
Oh, yeah.
I loved the Yuri faction.
I love 2.
Yeah, I did too.
2 was really fun. I thought 3 was a ton of fun. I know some of the fans were like pissed off about it, but I thought it was really fun.
I feel like a little out of place because like for me it's always been in like Tiberian Sun, Renegade.
It needs to remake Renegade. That game is so good.
Command & Conquer mode?
Oh yeah, the Renegade X guys, they've done an amazing job.
They have. We're amazed with what those guys do. That Command & Conquer mode came in way late in the game. It was an experiment, and we learned really late. And it was just like, boy, the whole game, just being that would have been amazing.
I've never been more intense sitting inside like the enemy's barracks as one of the upgraded engineers with all their time C4 on the console and the 2 remote ones.
Right after Renegade, we were working on Renegade Alert, and we had a playable prototype, and you could fly a Kirov around and drop bombs on people, and I'll never forget what it's like.
That was awesome.
Being on the ground, seeing the Kirovs coming and the bombs falling, and we made that playable demo.
Terrifying, actually.
And it was so much fun until we had the big meeting, and it was like, okay, Renegade's not doing well enough. We're not going to move forward with that. Unfortunately, it just never happened.
So any ridiculously crazy stories from any game we worked on?
I was working on 0 Hour, where they just put in the system so that units can be thrown up in the air when they take damage, so you can have big explosions and stuff. I had a little GLA worker sitting there, and I took the stealth bomber with the Moab and dropped it on him. It was tuned up really high, and he goes, as soon as it hits, the guy just goes flying off the top of the screen, and we all start laughing. We're talking about how great it is and how awesome it is. 34 seconds later, he drops straight down and lands right where he went up.
I've got a fun story. Maybe Ted was with me. We were in London at ECTS, but we're there at the booth working away. These 2 guys show up at the booth. Huge guys, blokes as they called themselves. And they're like, we want to talk to the guys that made CNC. And they're all like pissed off. And they come over and they're like, we want to talk to you guys. We got a big beef with you. They come over and in these great English accents, and they go, our girlfriends broke up with us because of CNC, and our lives are better for it. And we just want to tell you guys that we love CNC. And then they revealed their tattoos of Nod and GDI, real tattoos.
Really big ones.
And then we got drunk. And then we got these. We don't have girlfriends. We have these, but we still got CNC, and that's awesome. And then we got hugs.
I got one. It's another Renegade story. I heard about this story, and Mike might be able to fill us in on this one. There was a moment where the executives from Electronic Arts came down to visit Westwood to determine, hey, how's the game doing? And so they came down to a room. We had all the computers set up for them, and so they sat down to play, and they were playing against the QA team. Sit down to play, and they're like, oh, you're going to love this game. We've been working hard on it. So they sit down. They start to play the game, and they just get destroyed over and over. Like as soon as they get back, they like get headshotted again.
The QA team was so excited about killing off the big EA executives.
Yeah, they're back there high-fiving each other. It's like, I got him again. And, I mean, it was like a slaughter, right? Whatever the
Somebody
score
goes
was,
running back there like, stop, stop, because they all got pissed off and left. So from there on out, we've always told, like when we're doing demos with press or executives, don't go kill everybody. Ted did this page that was like the top 10 reasons to work at Westwood, and one of them was Dream Date with Kane.
But everyone would love a Dream Date with Kane.
Well, he and I went to high school together back when he had hair, and I have pictures, but I just won't share them because he'll kill me. Plus, Joe claims in many an interview that I killed his father. I know there are a lot of fans didn't like CNC3. It had my desk screens still in there. I did all the desk screins for Command & Conquer, so they kept those. So I thought that was cool. Somebody said it felt like putting on an old, comfortable pair of shoes, and I thought that was such a great analogy. And I really like CNC3 a lot because we started it, and then it got dropped off, and then the EA team resumed it later. They restarted it, right?
We restarted it, and then it got stopped again.
Oh my God!
And then the third iteration, because I was on the first 2 iterations.
Yeah.
But the third iteration is what shipped.
All right. Yep. Thanks for coming up. Like we talked to you all that. Yep.
Of course, at the end of 2014, ModDB and IndieDB ran their Mod and Game of the Year competitions. Once more, many CNC games were featured in the top 100. However, since we're several months late, let's just visit a few. Only one CNC game made the top 10, and that was Tiberium Essence. If you still haven't played this mod, you owe it to yourself now to give it a try. Blending stuff from Tiberian Sun as well as some original content and some redesigns of other Tiberium Wars units, this is a great mod, guys. Seriously, go play it now. You can come back to the episode, just pause it, go download it, play it, then come back. I promise you won't regret it. An interesting mod that caught our attention as of late is CNC Generals 2, which turns 0 Hour into You guessed it, the canceled CNC free-to-play game. They actually tacked down quite a bit of aesthetics, and the beta is actually available for download if you want to give it a spin. Twisted Insurrection made the top 100 list again, telling an alternate storyline where Nod winning the first Tiberium War. This mod adds a new twist to Tiberian Sun and is an amazing project. Not only that, they've made their soundtrack available for download, and Volume 4 just released at the beginning of March. Volume 4 includes all the music that was created for Twisted Insurrection up to the release of the volume. Hit up their new website as well. No surprise that Mental Omega made the top 100 this year too. And this is probably the best Yuri's Revenge mod out there, guys. New sub-factions with their own special units, and a new original campaign, and all kinds of new special features. Mental Omega lives up to its name being as the ultimate Yuri's Revenge mod. Next up is the Kane's Wrath mod One Vision, which received an update in December. One Vision's mission is to make the factions even more unique and adjust aspects of the game and balance. This mod features several changes to the core factions and adds upgrades, units, and visuals to the game, and even walls, because hey, who doesn't want more walls in CNC? Rise of the Reds made the top 2 this year. This is another amazing mod that has a lot of work going into it. The team is consistently pressing more content and newer versions out. They have just released 1.85. This is a great mod for generalcy. Last but not least for this episode, Command & Conquer Untitled. With new and improved maps, visuals, audio, and effects, as well as revamped old models, as well as some new toys for the arsenal, Untitled is a great addition to the top 100, and there are beta versions for you to try out and install.
Welcome to the BattleCast 5. I'm Sybert, your host for one last time. Kicking off our first game is a match in open array on the map Blitzkrieg for a 2v2. It's Rage Quitter and Zahia in the north versus Sergeant and Noob Mapmaker in the south. All players move their MCV a little bit at the start, but Sergeant is the one who decides he spawned on the wrong side of the map and sends his MCV north. Pretty much all the way north, like past the northern team north. From there, all players start macroing up. No one is looking for an early fight or even a mid-game scout, as for the first 10 minutes, Rage Quitter never actually sends a single unit far enough south to see that his opponent's base is no longer there. Fast forward to when Sergeant and Noob Mapmaker are crashing through Rage Quitter's base. On the other side of the map, Rage Quitter is doing some attacking of his own. Rage Quitter loses practically everything and, unsurprisingly, quits the game, while Sergeant and Mapmaker have taken heavy infrastructure damage, and Sergeant has to tap out. Zahia stands alone as the only player who hasn't taken massive damage, and it's not too long before Zahia's nearly untouched economy and production crushes through Mapmaker with overwhelming force to take the victory. On to Game 2 in Shockwave on the map Tournament Plains for Striker vs. the Fez. Striker's forward base becomes a point of contention as he uses it to launch assaults that are beaten back by the Fez. The Fez tries going on the offensive, but without much success until he starts mixing up his unit comp and attacking in multiple spots. Striker barely manages to hold on through a combination of nicely placed support powers and squeezing out just enough units to survive. But as Striker moves out to kill the Fez's forward base, Striker's attack force is crushed and the Fez musters just enough tanks to win the game. Our third game takes us into regular 0 hour on the map Alpine Assault and pits Size against Dominator. Dominator opens the game up by dropping missile defenders for harass and trying to proxy a Patriot system. Both of these attacks are shut down by Size, but the next step in the plan for Dominator is rock these. Dominator does some damage to the base of Size, but the combination of Gatling tanks and MiGs manage to hold on to the late game while resources start running low. Through careful attacks, Size manages to push Dominator back, but it's a well-placed EMP that seals the deal and lends Size the win. GG! Game 4 takes us to Forgotten Forest in a 2v2 for Kane's Wrath between Jake White and One Vision versus Recore and Space. It's fast expanding and a macro focus for all players as they crawl towards the middle of the map and the central Tiberium fields. Both sides entrench themselves and begin an all-out artillery war where epic units are routinely sacrificed to the fire of battle. For quite some time, neither team can gain an edge, but the GDI base defenses, Juggernauts, Hammerheads, and the power of the Marv finally break through One Vision's northern base. Recore and Space don't have enough to actually continue advancing, and they give One Vision a chance to rebuild while Jake continues to hold the middle of the map. When One Vision's Eradicator finally walks across the map once more, Recore realizes he doesn't have much left and leaves the game, forcing Space into a losing 1v2, and Space taps out shortly thereafter. Our final game takes us to Infinity Isle in Red Alert 3, pitting Fordell against Demon. Fordell opens up by trying to contain Demon, forcing Demon to pump out hammer tanks before moving forward with his next expansion. This match ends up slowing down a bit, but it's only until both players start moving out, on different fronts. Demon destroys Fordell's main while Fordell slashes down Demon's tech. Fordell manages to escape to the water and techs up to Shoguns, and Demon macros up another Tier 2 army. Both players manage to extend the base race out, chipping away at each other until it comes down to Demon's MCV and Fordell's Naval Yard. Demon runs all over Infinity Isle, trying to find a safe haven away from the heroic Shoguns. He even tries dropping satellites on the Naval Yard, but to no avail, and in the end the range from the epic Shoguns are too much and Demon taps out. And that's your 5 for this episode.
Hey Commanders, nodsoldiergirl here, and I'm here to announce our contest winners for our Community BattleCast PrimeTime themed contest. Our first place winner submitted 3 entries. First place winner goes to Callie Bowo with this, which is a Nod logo. Next up, a GDI logo. And our second place winner is AZ Stalker with Community BattleCast PrimeTime Legos. And all these are currently available as wallpapers. If you'll check the links below, you should find them. Congratulations to the winners, and thanks everybody for participating in our contest. See you on the battlefield.
To round out the rather short art section for this episode, we have the Cobretti AR-70 Raptor automatic rifle. For those of you who don't know, that is the primary assault rifle that you use in Renegade, created by Lomstein. Alright, and that wraps yet another episode of Community BattleCast PrimeTime. Thank you all very much for watching. I know it was a long time coming. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Of course, you can leave all of your comments, criticisms, or concerns in the comments section below, and we'll see you on the battlefield.